Now to the debate over how to get more aid to Israel. President Biden wants Congress to approve a plan that ties Israel aid to aid for Ukraine and funds for border security and other priorities. But objections by some Republicans could block the president's plan. We're joined now by Senator Roger Marshall, Republican of Kansas. Senator, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you.
Lindsay, glad to be on and glad to be a voice to support Israel.
So you have Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who is actually in support of President Biden's proposed joint aid to Ukraine and Israel. Yet you have said that President Biden's aid package is dead on arrival. Explain why you said that.
Well, for several reasons, Lindsay. First of all, Joe Biden has given us war through weakness. President Reagan gave us peace through strength, but Joe Biden has given us war through weakness. And this is one more part of that Biden puzzle, his foreign policy as well. Look, since the time I was a little child, as far back as I can remember, my mom, my Sunday school teachers taught me to support Israel. Matter of fact, I bet 99 out of 100 senators up here want to support Israel. But the controversy is on the Ukraine side of things. There is not unanimous support. So leave it to Joe Biden to give us an opportunity to bring us together, but yet he's going to divide us. And this process of bringing them all this funding in one big package is really dead on arrival in the House, for starters. But for me personally, I think there's a big difference between the situation in Ukraine, which is a 7-year, $1 trillion war, versus what we're seeing in Israel, which is a battle between the Hamas army of terror and the people of Israel. That the situation in Gaza is a battle for the future of all humanity.
So Israel needs aid soon, as we're seeing all these atrocities unfold. And as you mentioned, this Ukraine war has been a long war. We're about to hit 2 years in just February here. Would you be willing to hold up aid to Israel if this package doesn't get broken apart? Because right now it doesn't seem like there is a path for it to be two separate bills.
Well, yes, I am willing to do that, but I'm going to fight to separate them. That's what I'll be leading here this all week long, is a fight to separate them. And really, if we separate them, then Israel's going to get the funding even quicker. But my biggest concern about this package from Joe Biden is it actually makes the border situation worse. The funding that he has put in this big package is going to allow the cartel to actually get more people through the asylum process. So what I'm fighting for, among other things, is securing our border. Even with some simple policy changes, we can make the border 80% more secure. Think about this, Lindsay. In the past 2 years, we've had 60,000 people of interest from the Middle East caught and released in our border. 20,000 Chinese in addition to that. Those people from the Middle East, we have no idea where they were, who they are, and what their intentions are as well. So I always think about priorities. My priorities: get Americans back safely. Number 2 is secure our own southern border. Actually, that's probably 1A and 1B, is to secure our own border, support the people of Israel, and then we have Ukraine to deal with as a side note.
And we're seeing a record number of individuals caught from the terror watch list, one of the highest on record that we have in the U.S. So that does need a lot of attention, our southern border. Let me ask you this, though. A lot of eyes are on Iran. You have said that we need more moral clarity right now as it pertains to Iran, and that we need to cut off the head of the snake. How do we handle them right now?
Yeah, well, first of all, Lindsay, the president needs to publicly state that Iran is the head of the snake, that they are responsible. They are the puppeteer, the financier, the armor, the trainer, the planner of this war, on this war of terror, and that Hamas is just but one arm of that octopus, so to speak. You've also got Hezbollah. None of those people do anything without Iran's support. Think about what this president has done. He's pro-Iranian. He's not pro-Israel. You cannot be both. His actions, what he's done since the campaign, has enabled Iran to develop nuclear warheads. He's now enabling Iran to sell $1 billion of oil every week to China. He's released some $60 billion of previous funds as well. So this president has actually empowered Iran to fund this war against humanity.
Before you go, let me ask you this, because the U.S. did recently block Iran from accessing that $6 billion in funds that the U.S. recently unfroze in exchange for American prisoners. You've introduced legislation to revoke a waiver and freeze that money again, officially freeze it. Do you think that that would show a strong stance to Iran? Is that what needs to be done?
Yeah, we need to re-snap all of our sanctions against Iran. We need to make it really clear, not this soft tone of holding up the money right now, that $6 billion. Remember, just 3 months ago, Biden released $10 billion as well. And again, the Federal Reserves right now that are in Iran have went from $6 billion to $60 billion under this particular president. So we need to have maximum sanctions. We need to enforce those sanctions, call Iran who they are, isolate them socially, monetarily, and in any way, shape, and form that we can.
All right, Senator Roger Marshall, appreciate your time this evening. Good to see you.
Thanks, Lindsay.